Good. That was totally
The best thing
legal.
that happened to black people. God damn it, we was unified. We had families. It wasn't no same-sex marriage. Wasn't in that bullshit. Our forefathers had their own land, their own property.
Democrats did away with that. Democrats took that away.
Yeah, they took that.
That was under Abraham Lincoln, vice president. He did away with that. Democrats passed every single Jim Crow law, every single one. Democrats did that. You dispute
From
that?
the old party
you
of
dispute
Democrats,
that?
you know
No,
they
no,
switched,
they
right?
did. When did they switch?
They switched.
Well, let me ask you
The
a
party
question.
switched.
Well, let me ask you, when?
The party
Which
switched.
year?
Abraham.
Which year?
Go with your bro. Go with your bro.
Well, let me just say this before I leave.
Go with your bro.
Robert Byrd was a Democrat. Robert Byrd was a Democrat, a KKK member, a Grand Kleagle in the Democrat Party. Died in office as a Democrat in 19.
Talk to me about FDR.
19.
Talk to me about FDR.
What year did Robert Byrd pass in? 2010. A KKK member. As a Democrat,
Oh
a grand cyclone.
Go join the KKK, bro. If that's true.
No, you made a statement, so I'm asking you to validate your statement.
I'm telling you.
If you make a statement, validate your statement. No. Well, why did Robert Byrd switch? Why didn't Robert Byrd switch? He was a Democrat and died in office as a Democrat in 2020.
Democrats that are like
ma'am, you can't validate your statement, ma'am. You just throwing out.
You can't either, and you know,
I just gave you FDR was 1940s.
Yeah, and what happened then?
You tell me. You make statements.
So security happened.
Do
A
you love
40-hour
your
work
country?
week happened.
Do you love your country?
I love
Jim, I'll catch you. I'll just call you, man.
A multicultural America, right?
First part of socialism.
Multicultural America. Yeah. All right, bro.
You love America.
I love a multicultural America. That's right.
Yes, ma'am.
That's
I
right.
love my car, but you know when the tires are
Come here legally.
America is everybody.
Huh?
America is everybody.
I'm not.
United States, Mexican,
I'm all
blacks,
for a multicultural America, but I'm
Italian.
for a legal America, a country of
legal
law and
America,
order,
exactly.
a country of structure, order,
1%
discipline.
illegal.
What's that?
Hey, John.
Illegal
Okay,
people
so
right
that's
here.
1% too many.
I hope they send them. They resolve your problems. I don't think so.
What do you mean? Illegal means illegal.
What do you mean by that comment?
I'm saying, if you think so, can these people, 1% illegal people, that gotta flick you life in this country?
Let me know if this sounds
go.
okay.
Go and study and do something else. You know how those Mexicans, maybe sometimes with no even papers, work and have better jobs? The people who born right here, they more smart because they hard workers.
So Mexicans are more smart because they hard workers.
We hard workers.
You hard workers.
We
So you know how racist that statement sounds?
That's extremely racist.
That's the most racist statement I heard this month. Look, if you in a country illegally, I'm sorry, you got to go.
So do you have the same problem for people that speak Polish and don't speak English?
I don't care if you black. I don't care if you Nigerian. I don't care if you Haitian. I don't care if you Venezuelan. I don't care what your nationality
Nobody
is.
said anything
If
about
you-
that.
You making it a racial
Nobody
thing.
said anything about
We didn't
that.
make it a racial thing.
Literally, nobody
You making
said
it a
that.
racial thing. I didn't make it a racial thing.
There we go.
I didn't make it a racial
It's always
thing.
the first.
You
time.
just said that Mexicans are better than everyone else because they're hard. Listen here, lady. Listen
It's
here,
America.
lady.
It's the United States.
It's United States.
If you think
I know.
Mexico's better, you have every opportunity
I'm
every
not saying
single day
that.
to
They
go
say
to
this
Mexico.
is a great America. This is great country.
Right.
It is.
And we have great country because we have laws.
You know our honor.
Because we have laws.
How many times you people broke your laws?
Your people.
We
What does
are
that mean?
There's a difference
What is-
between an
what is that-
American
what does that mean,
citizen and a
your
person.
people?
Yeah. What are your people? You are so racist.
what do you mean
got to
by
be the
your
most
people?
racist one.
I have a black daughter.
You
What do you mean
still
by
a
your
racist.
people?
You still
What is your
racist.
comment be by your people? What do you mean by that? I'm giving you the opportunity to explain yourself.
America is every single country. United States.
No, America's not every other single country.
But what do you mean by your people?
They're lost.
Oh, look, that's one of the great things about countries when you engage in civil conversation with people of opposing
You have the
viewpoints.
language. Some people, when illegal,
That's ignorant to want to engage in a
apply,
civil
they give the
conversation
job
with
to
somebody
the
of an
illegal
opposing
people
viewpoint?
because they
No,
work
ma'am.
better. Because their job work better. Sometimes hotels, when they apply somebody from here,
Who sounds racist there? They work better, huh? What the hell?
they give it to illegal because illegals are there every single
Maybe they're more desperate,
day because they work
Bro,
hard.
you
That's why they
internalize
give it to
and that's what they want. They want them more desperate.
dominance.
You can go and come legally and work hard.
Dominance, man.
You can go and come legally and work.
But she could still be a
Hello.
racist.
Go.
Exactly.
Go.
Changed for a lot longer
You can go home and work legally.
Yes, sir.
president did this.
Proud of who I am.
Your president is pro
You go-
Well, he's hiding
go ahead.
child molesters from the fucking judge.
I don't. What does President Trump got to do with anything going on right here?
That Epstein file.
What is the Epstein files?
Nice deflection away from the people.
That's not deflection. Those are the criminals. They're raping children.
I
and using
support
our government to
releasing the
hide
Epstein
it.
files.
They're raping children and using
I
our
support
fucking law
releasing the
enforcement
Epstein
to protect
files.
themselves. They insulate themselves.
That's what they're doing? Okay, gotcha.
As a survivor of rape, yeah, by a white man too, by the way.
Oh, why do we have
Why
to
they got to
constantly bring up
right?
race? Why do
Right.
you have to constantly bring up race?
Just
say you were raped by a man.
Use the bridge, yeah.
Congratulations.
Let's round all you up. You're dangerous.
Congratulations.
You're dangerous. You're dangerous. You're dangerous. You have a penis, right?
And you're
How many
dangerous.
wrong
You're dangerous.
words can be
You're
very
dangerous.
You see how quickly that went bad? Because words are
Words
dangerous.
are dangerous.
I think one went back.
You don't get to racially profile someone.
You're
and
the
then
one
think
that's
that-
racially profiling.
And she just said
Yeah,
that
just
Mexicans
a
are better than
friend.
everybody
Just
else because they
a
work
friend.
hard.
Racially
Our government to
profiling.
racially profile
You're
as they snatch up
racially
innocent people off the
profiling.
street. You're lucky you're white and fat.
When-
I'm just saying, you're lucky you're
Why?
white.
Why is he
It must be
lucky?
nice to be well fed, to be able to come out here and use your privilege, knowing you will not get swept up.
Oh yes,
ever.
I'm a proud American.
So am I. I actually use
You're a
my
racist.
voice. If you think I'm racist towards
Because
you, then I am
no,
doing the right
you
thing.
constantly keep bringing up racial comments.
This is racism! There's tons of illegal things happening. Our government is acting illegally, but the only illegal people you care about are the brown ones?
No.
That is racist.
If
Yes,
you're here
you
illegally,
are racist.
regardless,
Your
if
veins
you're
are
here
popping out
illegally,
again.
Not
If
voting to
you're
release the
here
Epstein
illegally,
files.
if you're here illegally,
It is proven
Okay.
they are snatching
Okay.
up people that are
Look,
not
look,
illegal.
let's
It's
bring
a
it-
fucking
let's bring
civil
this from level
offense,
10
like running
down
a
to level
red
3.
light.
Let's bring
It's
this
a
from
deportable
10
offense.
down to
Oh
3.
my God.
Let's bring this from 10 down to 3.
No, I want to be at a 10.
I told you, you're getting too fired up. Too fired up.
I've worked retail my whole life.
The same
I'm sorry,
fucking
this is
place.
what
You couldn't even
frustration
use a
looks like
fucking
when your
bathroom in the
government
same
has
place as
constantly
white
failed
people.
you.
Don't do this.
While bailing out the
Don't do
Black
this.
people were brought here
Don't do
illegally
this.
against their will.
Don't do
They're the big
this.
thing.
Don't
Not
do
one
this.
black person came here in
Don't do
1800s illegally.
What
Not
does
one.
you
Stop
want
trying to
to
compare what
retell?
you
Because they were
doing.
brown.
Stop comparing people coming to here illegally
You're
with
just
people
talking
who were
about
brought here
retail.
against their will.
Pursue
Stop
it.
making it about race. It's not about race. It's about the law.
It's about race.
It's about-
when
no,
they
it's
said
about the law.
If you look brown, if you speak
No,
Spanish,
no
they
one
can
said
pick you
that.
up.
No one said that.
Yes, they did.
Who
The
said
Supreme
it?
Court said that.
They
The
don't
Supreme Court
think
said
they
that.
are.
You don't know
No,
that?
they didn't. No, they didn't.
Let's look it up.
No, they didn't. I'm
Let's
not looking
look
up.
it up. You
I
gotta
miss
vote. You
retail,
gotta vote.
and I'm
Let's look it
disgusted
up.
about
My
that.
question to you
You
is,
understand
my
you have
question
so
to
many
you,
other
Look it up,
careers.
my
honey.
question to you is,
Bro.
does the
You
law
gotta
mean,
fucking
does the
beautiful device.
law mean anything or not?
Because I'm in
Does
retail.
the
The
law,
country's not following due process,
two
which
different
is the
careers.
law.
Kilmay
Come on.
Abrego got law due process, and you still don't want to send him home.
Stressful, it's high and it's high risk.
The Maryland man, the one who was sent over to El Salvador that you all protested having brought back here, he got due process, and you still wanted him to be back here. You don't want due process. What you want is open
If I can
borders.
lift a 200-pound Great Dane, I can
All
lift
right,
your
you're
chunky ass.
100%.
No. That's what you want. You want open
You are
borders.
repeating messages of
I'm not
fucking
doubting,
racist
I know.
bastards, dude.
Again.
You're
See,
repeating the
I think you-
messages of
your
other
ability-
you
people who
can't
don't
have.
That's exactly what they want, open borders, because they want one communist government worldwide, one new world order.
even
Civil
respect
right.
you, bro.
Maybe you don't respect me.
I respect you, but you can't be fucking pushing negative stereotypes.
No. I gave you
You're
a
allowing
I gave you a
that.
specific
No.
example
No.
of a person who got due process, and you said you said
who?
they're not getting due
Who?
process. Is what you
They're
said.
not.
So I gave you a specific example of a person that got
One,
due process.
you're giving me one out
There's-
of how many thousands, bro?
Hey,
Come
first off,
on.
what is due process?
Come
Define
on.
due process.
Due process is the right
For
to be
illegal
able to
aliens.
For who?
For illegal aliens, people in the country illegally. What is due process?
Open up your constitution.
No.
It says
No.
persons.
No. I
Any
get what
person.
Constitution say.
No,
But
that
what
says
do?
any person
We're
and
great.
not
My
citizen.
answer
It says person
my
and not
question to you
citizen,
again.
okay?
My question to
Read
you
the
again.
fucking Constitution, bro.
Again.
And stop internalizing dumb
Right, I
shit.
get it's white supremacy and all that. I get it.
Oh,
But
you
my
get
get
it.
it.
You
But
get it now?
I get it.
Now
My
you get
question
it.
to you again
I'm
is,
glad.
what is
Get
due
it.
process
Get
for
it
someone
and
in the
think
country
about
illegal?
it.
You can Google that.
Get it.
No.
and think
I
about
asked
it.
you a question. Why do I got to dig Google it? What is? Excuse me.
why
But
don't you know?
let me finish talking to her.
just-
I know what it is.
I
But what
just-
is it for
I
you?
gotta tell you.
It is to verify your
I know,
citizenship in this
John,
country.
you're right.
After your
That's due
citizenship has
process.
been verified,
What about people
you
who fucking break the law? They don't have due process.
they're
Come
American
on.
citizens.
It's not just
There's a
about
difference between an American
immigration.
citizen.
It's not just about immigration. Due process.
What
Do
happens?
you think if you come in
Not-
the country illegally, you should be deported?
People that are not doing
Do
it.
you think if you come in the country illegally, you should be deported?
There's a process for that, right?
Do yes or no?
There's a process for
Do
that.
you think if you come into the country illegally, you should
There's
be deported?
multiple ways of coming into the country.
That if you come to the country illegally,
Yeah.
you think you should be deported?
You know what? When you're in the
Yeah, you should be deported. Okay, let's get over to the kidnapping bill. AB.
Hey guys, Sonia Shaw here. I am the Chino Valley Unified School Board President. I am also the candidate for the State Superintendent of Public Instruction here in California. More importantly, a mama bear that has been on the front lines for fighting for parental rights here in California since I found out this loser and his cronies have been attacking it for long before I realized 6 years ago. But look, our school district has been sued by Newsom and Bonta and the state superintendent previously for just saying parents have a constitutional right in the upbringing of their own children's lives. And then we see Newsom sign the most horrific bill into law, AB 495, and he gaslighted the public. He pretended like it was actually protecting parents' rights, but it's not. It is actually the predator's kidnapping dream bill. This is a Trojan horse to continue to erase parents' rights and for a bigger agenda that is attacking our children. And it absolutely needs everybody to pay attention to. Look, we are already working in our school district to bring a policy forward to put safeguards in place, but that's only one school district, and there is other school districts that are doing the same, linking arms to ensure that children are safe here in California. But the bigger problem is the majority of school boards in California have no good interest, no best interest in protecting our children. They go along with the agenda with these losers, Gaslight Gavin over here. So please pay attention, guys. We need local elected officials that you vote in to stop this madness that they continue to attack our kids with. This is the worst bill. And we cannot just get comfortable and say, you know what, it's just another bad bill signed. No, we need to hold them accountable. 2026, you have the full authority to get involved in your local elections, especially school board. Please. And Prop 50, pay attention to it. It's just another overreach that him and the rest of them are doing. Look what they're doing. They're attacking your children, saying anybody without even your signature can go grab the kids from school. A caregiver's affidavit not signed by the parents. We as parents already identify into the emergency card situation where we say who gets to pick up our children in case of an emergency. But they overwrite that and say anybody can with this piece of paper that's not even signed by anybody. This is insane. Guys, please wake up. This is horrible. We all need to be paying attention. If you think your kids are not affected, trust me, they're part of the system. They're part of their plan to attack and break up families. Pay attention, guys. Get all hands on deck. Let's get 2026 some big wins. Get these losers out of there. Not allow them to harm our kids and our families anymore here in California.
Exactly. Here's some more on what's happening in California. It's really disgusting.
Anytime I speak out against the Democrat policies, I have people like this who, like, excuse me? Oh, now she thinks she knows about human trafficking. What, sir? Like, first of all, what a stupid surface comment. Like, unfortunately, we do know about human trafficking. This is Senator Shannon Grove, who is working to pass SB 1414. And I can't believe how hard it was for her to even get this going. And then the Democrats voted down. You can just pause to read this, but this bill would increase penalties for those who buy a child for sex from a misdemeanor to a felony. And so, yes, unfortunately, I do know what has been happening in California when it comes to not just human trafficking, but the violation of basic human rights to the one of the most vulnerable population, which is incarcerated women.
Next video,
but don't believe me, right? Because I apparently don't know shit. Let me show you a video.
Hope you can handle the accent. He's got a heavy accent. talking about this.
By my Senator, Susan Eggman. Now, she went onto the Senate floor when SB 1414 was being blocked by the Democrats. She went on there and gave a very interesting speech. Now, she did not walk away from the Democrat Party. She is still very much a Democrat.
She should walk away from them.
But she called out the Democrat policies. Let me show you.
I'm done. I'm done with us protecting people who would buy and abuse our children. I'm done. I don't want to send more black and brown men to prison. I don't want more people in prison, but I don't want people buying girls. I don't want people buying little girls anymore. And I'm tired of saying it's okay and that we have to protect the men who do it. As a mental health professional and as a social worker, I can tell you I've spent my entire career working with people who have been wounded. I'm not going to say beyond repair, but they have been wounded to their core by the abuse that's been heaped on them, oftentimes by those that they love and look to protect them. And if their parents won't do it, then by God, we should. Again, I am not arguing that we open the gates to flood our prisons with people, but I am arguing that we have a moral responsibility to say enough. Enough. We have given away enough on this area, and we've got to move back into the center, or we all look like fools.
I mean, I think it's a little bit too late for that, but this
aren't going
is
back to the center.
A seasoned senior legislator who goes on.
Some people are like Turley and that are saying this is the end of the Democratic Party. I sure hope so.
After 12 years of passing legislation that allows for predators to get loopholes under the guise of LGBT, this is what she's talking about, what is happening in California. And I say under the guise of LGBT because the reason why the Democrats voted this down says that it would marginalize the LGBT community. They've also allowed SB 132 to continue into law. Tara and I have been working for years to try to get this law fixed.
Is it
because
too low?
It allows
John, too low or is it not playing at all? I thought I had the sound up on these. Let me see. Yeah, the volume's all the way up. Let me check the other settings. Over here. Yep, they're all the way up. And it claims it's playing. Is it just too low, or or you can't hear it at all?
For men to transfer into women's prisons if they self-identify as a woman. Now, there's no guardrails in place. There's no guardrails, and you can't even ask questions. Otherwise, you're some kind of phobia. And through FOIA request and the work from woman to woman, we know babies are being born, HIV is being spread, women are given Plan B pills, and they're forced to stay in the same pods as these guys because predators are going to predator. If there is a loophole, they will find it, and they found one. All they have to do is say, I'm
the black lady.
XYZ.
It was a little bit lower.
They get moved over to the women's facility. We definitely are not giving up on fixing this law, but this is what California Democrats are doing. So instead of being a party loyalist, perhaps you should look at policy.
Yep. Okay, and I'm going to bring up the report from England here.
Minus 2 minutes.
This is the Templar Knights report. Let me try to fast forward this to, yep, right about there. Go a little further. Now you got to get used to the accent over there.
Yes, well,
Dawson or something like that is his name. He's got a heavy accent, but he did report on right after the freedom thing in Israel and that. I'm hoping that lasts. I don't trust it. Hamas is the one that's going to be the tricky part. Hamas is the issue that keeps it from having freedom.
This is the most strange thing. Welcome one and all to the Christian National Party almost daily report with me, Jim Dixon.
Not that we should be giving either side money. That's the biggest thing, is they milk money out of both sides.
How you doing? Now I can see myself on.
Can everyone understand his accent enough?
The one, so I don't know. It must be some widget. Something's dropped. Don't talk to me about widgets anyway. Something's dropped out. But everyone's fine. Everyone's working here. Bizarre. But really strange. Very strange indeed. But welcome one and all. Who's all in the room? Let me see who's in here. Ewan Engstrom, how you doing? Westover 1314, nice to see you. Marty BFP, Peter Holden, Dylan Jennings there, Ryan Payton, excellent. You can see he's all. No, I can't see myself in jail. Oh, I can see myself in jail. How come I can't see myself in retirement? Anyway, don't need to see myself there as long as you can see me. Well, I hope it's all a nice weekend. Excuse me, I've got a really bad eye problem, as you know, this recurrent eye problem, so I'm almost blind. I can hardly see anything on the screen at all. So that's rather unfortunate, to say the least, but I'll do my best. Maybe just offer our condolences to brother John Kopasaki, his father Andrea, Andrew, passed to glory the other day. So on behalf of the Christian Nationalist Party and the Knights Templar and always personally like to convey our sincerest condolences and best wishes and prayers and kind thoughts to John and his family at this difficult time. Okay. You may have heard the dog there. That's Holly. Holly, come here. Come on, let me see. Come on, let people see her. Come here, Holly. Come on. Holly, see the wee dog, how it's grown. Come on, girl. Come on. Come on. Oh, she's coming up to show us. Come on, let me come. Up, up. She's never after me, but she won't come up there. She's got a big bone thing and she's on the boot. I'll show you later. She's a lovely wee dog.
Does have a heavy accent.
Dog indeed. Very nice. When I'll get a bone here. If I get a bone. Come on up. Come on. Come on up. Up you come. Come on, up you get. Up you get. Up you get. Come on, up you come. There we go.
Hey, Tammy.
So she's got her ear, pig's ear, dried pig's ear, or some other hideous thing.
Oh, really?
That's about as big as she's going to get.
Doesn't surprise me.
Too much a guard dog. However, the Muslims are terrified of black dogs for some reason. So she's a jet black dog. Rusty was a big dog.
And most of the food that goes in, they take.
So she might be a good guard dog. We shall see. Yeah,
it's going to take some of the other countries like Egypt, but they're cracking down on them to get rid of them. Really, Hamas.
Oh yes, yes. Thank you, Marion, for reminding me. Another thing I want to remember: our good friend Scotty G. You know, the old boy that was over here collapsed at the parade. He's going in today for what is it? Triple bypass, and he's a very humble wee man. He didn't like asking for prayers, but I think he must be very concerned and worried. So he's asked us all very humbly if we would keep him in his prayers. I've assured him we would. I've already prayed that the hand of the surgeons would be taken by the hand of God during that procedure. So please pray for Scotty. What's his real name? Is it Green? Christopher Green, otherwise known as Scotty G. He's a lovely, lovely wee man, pure Irish fella. He lives in America now, but pure Irish, just a great guy, a real good connection with him. And even when he collapsed, he stuck it out to the very end and keeled over, but he was all right. He's a good wee man, so please everybody keep Scotty G in your prayers for his surgery. Surgery's today, Marion?
Yeah, in 2 days.
In today, so you're beginning of it now. So please pray that God's hand will be upon the surgeon.
Get through his
accident.
He's going to report on
what's going on. That's a big operation to undertake at his age and his health.
In a couple minutes.
What was it? Well, somebody's saying it's no Scotty G. I think it was.
That was Douglas Wagner.
Oh, that's Douglas Wagner. There's no Scotty G. Wash my mouth out with soap. There's no Scotty G.
Scotty G was the wee man.
Aye, but that's no him. That's not Scotty.
I see a lot of people, especially in Ireland, standing up against the globalists.
Scotty G's Douglas Wagner. Christopher Green. That's no Scotty G. Anyway, so it's Christopher Green we're all praying for, right? Sorry about that. It's Christopher Green. Yeah, we know that. He's not the one getting a triple bypass. So it's Christopher Green. Keep him in your prayers, please. Okay, if you don't mind. Totally different guy. I was giving false information.
The second half of this, I'm going to be reporting on
thank you very much. Sorry, Mitch, it's no Scotty G.
Anti-protesters, attackers, terrorists, really. I mean, they're actually ramming cars, attacking them, attacking their family members, doxing them, everything.
Yes.
They're going after them bad, big time. It's going to come to the point where there's going to be a shooting. They're going to kill a nice person.
Tom, I don't want to see it. I can't see it. The eyes are gone. Anyway, a big day today, as you all know, unless you live in a cave in the top of Bora Bora Mountains, the remaining living hostages have been freed from Gaza. 20 people, 2 of them, twin guys actually. Thankfully, they look okay. But I mean, most of these hostages, people say, oh, they were murdered. Most hostages have been killed by the bombing on Gaza by the Israeli forces. But still, they were, they had no choice no matter. They were taken prisoner.
What's that about strong? About the 60-day shutdown?
Goodness. This is just one of the days, isn't it? Maybe that's what we was saying, microphone. So that's it. Microphone. Dear me, is there no end to this level of stupidity today? I'm not well, this eye's just putting me
How
right
long
off
do you think
everything.
the shutdown will go?
Sorry about that. Yes, microphone. That's what I'm looking for. Dear me. Okay, right. So as you know today,
Can everyone
20
understand
hostages
him?
been
Okay.
released from Gaza, all down to Donald Trump. And of course, at any time, America could have stopped this if they wanted to, because most of the arms, weapons, intelligence, and guidance systems are all American. So Americans could have stopped this at any time. But obviously, Trump has
Well,
stopped
just
it
stop
now, and that we should be
funding it.
grateful for that.
Stop funding
But it's not
both
all
sides,
over
'cause
yet,
they're funding
because
both
now
sides.
there's internal stuff going on in Gaza with clans. They have clans in Gaza, gangs, clans, but call it you want. And there was a battle last night. There were 270 people killed as the clans try and take over from Hamas. So that place
Hamas
is a
is
mess, and it's
killing
going to
them,
remain a mess for a very long time. And Tony Blair's involved in it, and then he's involved in it, isn't he good? But it's wonderful to see the hostages released. And
Yeah, it was
I just want to
Charles.
show you some scenes here.
Charles, you said something about Hamas that started executing government rivals. Oh boy, that's not going to be good. There is a faction there that just wants peace and live. Actually, they want to become part of Israel. Actually, there's a lot of Muslims that do live in Israel. They're just not extremists.
Of people, I think I can hardly see, so bear with me if I put the wrong films up.
In
And then
fact, if you count the birth rate by 2035, there's going to be more Muslims than there is Jewish in Israel.
Andrew McBride said somebody with Starmer claims is involved. Aye, so he was. Who listens to Keir Starmer? We don't listen to him. It's hardly likely Benjamin Netanyahu's going to listen to him. Let's have a look. I think this is one.
This is how England covered, at least they did. He's definitely a lot better than Biden, especially mentally. What's Chad think? Are they going to be able to keep the peace or not? There's a lot of countries on board. You would think, especially Egypt seems to be, they're good at spying, believe it or not. They can infiltrate.
Listen, I know Trump's a showboater. I know he's a showman. I know he's full of razzmatazz. I seen an interview. I didn't put it on the show. I was going to put it on, but he's sitting there saying, do you know, I stopped 7 wars in 8 months. Nobody in the history of the world has ever done that. I mean, it's cringe sometimes, but I'm telling you right now, I like Donald Trump. I've always liked Donald Trump. Is he perfect? Not by a long shot, but I like him. I think he's so outrageous. I mean, imagine sitting with a straight face saying, you know, I've stopped 7 wars in 8 months. Nobody in the history of the world has done that. It's outrageous. But he's an outrageous guy. But I like him. And
Yeah, I didn't say there was Jewish.
I'm watching every
Palestine area
because I live a very strange life.
Actually, Palestine, when it was originally called Palestine, it was all Jewish. In fact, Muslim is a split off from Jewish. As a matter of fact, Muhammad was born a Jew.
I put on the YouTube and I watch what ICE is getting up to.
I forget which one.
And I cannot tell you the joy Donald Trump has provided to my life watching the Texas National Guard going into Chicago.
Not that I give a crap. No, I want them to stop killing each other and stop wanting to kill us. They can have their own religion. I don't care. Don't harm other people.
And into Portland and all the rest and all these other places. I cannot tell you the joy that it gives my old aching heart at times. I am almost moved to tears with joy to see these lefty green-haired freaks getting the just desserts that they so richly deserve. So I like Donald Trump. There you go. Hang the man. I like him. And I know his backers are multi-billionaire Jews and all the rest of it. I know all of that. I still like the guy. And I think he's in a very strange situation. And he's doing a good job.
Strong. You're predicting 30 days shutdown, huh? Well, it might be. I don't know. It'll end when the Democrats are ready to have it end. There's enough pressure on them.
Considering the forces arrayed against him. So we should pray that God's hand would be on Donald.
Because they want to spend that $1.5 trillion is what they want.
Trump and guide him a clear path. Because it can't be easy, I tell you. Exactly. I'm just trying to read some of this stuff. As far as I know, they aren't Roger, none.
Yeah. Marianne, I bet she does sound like that. I've had other people on my channel before that have that heavy accent. Then others, like Jada, that doesn't have the accent. So I don't know. It seems like if you're in southern England, you have this kind of accent.
Oh, excellent, isn't it? Kira's a clown, he is. Mate. Best non-politician leader he is. Good evening, what? I think I'm reading that right. Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
If only the ice on the UK, absolutely.
And you know that's part of their plan. You got to stop giving them free money to raise their families. Like they come over here. There was one guy that came over here and he has like 17 wives and 84 kids, and he doesn't work, and we're paying for all of it. Got to stop letting them in. Go to your country, earn enough to feed your own kids.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah, the forces surrounding him are very ominous and terrifying. I'm glad. I wouldn't like to be Donald Trump, but there we are. But he's out to a rapturous reception in Israel. I mean, honestly, they think he's the Messiah. Well, I hope they don't think he's Messiah, because you know what he done to the last Messiah in that place. But anyway, they think he's wonderful, and I've got another clip here. I think he's in the Knesset here. Let me see. The Knesset, I think so. Have a look.
I tend to agree with you, Martin. Sadly. Now, I thought I heard that Hamas couldn't hold office there as part of the deal. I don't know. There's several countries that are part of this deal that are they're gonna actually patrol the area and everything. Instead of Israel patrolling it, they're gonna have other countries with troops in there and this thing. Actually, when they made the whole thing, they should have set aside, like a good 10, 15-mile area by the UN for religious people to go in. Not part of a country. The UN would control that. Then the rest could be different countries, like it was Jordan, was Syria and all that.
You've got to be a special type of man to clap yourself, but he's in there. I mean, you've no idea what's going on in Israel at the moment.
That we're in that religious area, the UN could have controlled that and kept it safe, and any person could go visit.
There's hundreds of thousands of people in Tel Aviv Freedom Square or Hostage Square chanting "Thank you, Trump! Thank you, Trump! Thank you, Trump!" And by the way, just before
actually, that's happening also in Gaza. A lot of them are thanking him. They wanted this all to end too.
The attack by Hamas on the 7th of October 2 years ago, there was over 1 million people in that square demanding the resignation and imprisonment of Benjamin Netanyahu. And if that war is over, Benjamin Netanyahu ain't getting re-elected. 100%, no way, never going to happen. And he's going to end up spending the rest of his life in jail for stuff that was going on before the 7th of October. The 7th of October was a massive get out of jail free card for Benjamin Netanyahu. I'll say no more about it, other than how 7,000 heavily armed terrorists can prepare.
I'm a supporter of their being in Israel, but I think October 7th was allowed to happen, is my thinking on that.
And break through the most secure border in the entire planet without anybody noticing the preparations, without anybody realising they were approaching the fence, and then spend 2 or 3 hours to respond is beyond me. Make it that what you will. But it saved his beating. But hopefully that's coming to an end. It's a terrible, terrible thing that's being wrong. But here's another wee clip. President Trump in the Knesset doing a speech, I believe.
So he still whispers truth into the hills and knolls and valleys of his magnificent creation, and he still writes hope into the hearts of his children all over the world. And that is why even after 3,000 years of pain and conflict...
So I haven't watched all this. I don't know exactly how they covered this.
The people of Israel have never given up from the threats of Zionism, from all sorts of threats. You want the promise of Zion. You want the promise of success and hope and love and God. And the people of...
Let me just stop you there. So I want to replay that. Listen to what Trump says there, the threat of Zionism. That's not a slip of the tongue. He actually says the threat of Zionism. Let's watch it again.
So he still whispers truth into the hills and knolls and valleys of his magnificent creation, and he still writes.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Zionism, I thought, was just a Jewish nationalist. So I don't totally understand why people hate that word.
Hope into the hearts of his children all over the world. And that is why even after 3,000 years of pain and conflict, the people of Israel have never given up from the threats of Zionism.
Okay, Charles.
All sorts of threats. You want the promise of Zion.
Yeah.
You want
there is people that don't believe in God.
Success and hope and love and God. And the
anyone
people
who's a
of
Marxist,
America have never
Marxists
lost
don't
faith
believe in
the
God.
promise of a great and blessed future for all of us. From the very first day that modern Israel was founded, we have stood together through thick and thin, the thin of setbacks and through victory and defeat.
Yeah, very interesting that. Very interesting indeed. But, you know, most sensible people understand the dangers of political Zionism. Most sensible people understand that. Sadly, and I'm going to give it to my Yankee friends right between the eyes here, the only place people are confused with this anywhere on the entire planet is in the US of A, because of the Schofield Reference Bible, because of these paid numpties. And I seen something the other day there, and I was telling Jada Franson about it, because I'd never heard of these guys. The TV evangelism stuff,
Charles.
TBN, Trinity Broadcasting Network, was started off by this couple, real shady shyster types.
Welcome.
You know the type, you know, real trailer trash people who were traveling preachers and so on and so
English
forth.
accent.
And then they get invited to Israel and they get all this money for somewhere and they started up this TV broadcasting.
Anti-ICE.
Didn't last long gone.
videos.
I'd never even heard of them. So they weren't long in it before they were ousted because they weren't sophisticated enough. But they were the only people who managed to get a TV broadcasting satellite working and authorized in Israel. And of course, they were insane Christian Zionists. So there was a lot of money put into this effort in America. And as I say, nowhere in the world is anybody confused with the dangers of Zionism, including Israel. Most Israeli Jews are not Zionists. They're terrified of it or they hate it. Isn't that strange? Most Jews in Israel and everywhere else in the world are not.
Marianne, I thought they believe in God. They don't believe in Jesus. That's what I thought it was. They don't believe in Jesus as the Son of God or something.
Zionists. I'll give you an example with a huge parade in London at the weekend.
I might be wrong.
And they were carrying things down with Hamas, down with Zionism. Lots of them are carrying banners against Zionism. This is a Jewish rally in London. The only place this seems to be completely bastardized is in America. And you know we've done our best. You know the Temples, we've done our best to straddle that thin line of educating people against Zionism and anti-Semitism, which I don't think is even a thing, because Arabs are Semites. Semites it's like Caucasians, you know, Semite is a race and Arabs are Semites. So I don't like that anti-Semitism. You just call it anti-Jewish. So we've tried to balance ourselves, Jada, myself, everybody, we've tried to balance ourselves on that, telling people the truth about political Zionism and how wicked and destructive it is for the world, and not slipping over to being anti-Jewish, which people think you are immediately. It's like if you say I'm proud to be white, you're a racist. I'm anti-Zionist, you're anti-Semitic. Don't fall for that. It needs a wee bit of courage, and it takes a wee bit of courage to do that. And we've had a lot of problems by taking the position we take. But we want to be honest brokers, and we want to be
when I first came on Twitter,
messengers of God, and we need to be honest, and it's not an easy thing to be honest. So I think we've done no bad job being honest and serving that. Brian says EWTN. EWTN. I've spoke to old was it sister or mother Angela or Angelica. I spoke to her years ago. I done an interview with her years and years ago. Yeah, long time ago.
Yeah, that's funny.
Gentle patriot. Schofield did not
communicate with him. Really?
Did not. Schofield did not also corrupt UK Bibles.
And then later on, I might
no, because he only done one Bible. He done the Schofield Reference Bible. Very rare in Britain. In fact, funny enough, Sammy, do you remember that Bible I bought in the second-hand bookshop the other week? There, I got the Thompson Chain Reference, and I had this other Bible, and I said, I don't know what that is. It was a dispensationalist Bible.
It is funny.
The Schofield Bible, but it didn't call it Schofield. It called it dispensationalist Bible. The Schofield Bible. I looked at it on Sunday and I thought, good grief, that's going in the fire, because I couldn't even throw it out in case somebody found it. So I will burn that.
Marianne, any Jewish people I've met are real kind and everything, but that's the ones in the USA. If you go to the Orthodox areas, and that might be more true than the average Jewish person, you know, the average Jewish person that probably isn't that religious, you know.
Thing. But no, the Schofield Reference Bible is very, very, very rare in Britain. The only time you'll find it in Britain is with the Plymouth Brethren, who, guess what?
To me, I try my best not to try to hate anyone or stereotype anyone. I try not to.
Are completely off the wall Christian Zionists, off the planet Christian Zionists. That's only people who took that Bible up. But it's went further than that now. It's infested a lot of churches, especially the Baptist churches, especially them. They're the Episcopalians, the Anglicans, the Presbyterians, the Reformed, the Congregationalists. None of us hold to it. None of us, the Roman Catholics, the Orthodox, none of us, the Coptics, Armenians, none of us hold to this at all. In fact, most people never even heard of it. They know what it is. But in America, certainly the Southern Baptists, very, very, very Dallas Theological Seminary and all that, absolutely polluted with this dispensationalism. And of course, it's now spread out to the Pentecostal charismatic world. They don't know what planet they're on. They just do it because it gets them money and it gets them shown in Israel. So they don't care about anything. They don't know nothing. But there's a lot of very, very, very good, decent, honest to God, faithful the Baptist brethren in America who hold to the Schofield Reference Bible, who hold to dispensationalism. But they read the King James. But it's in all the seminaries now. Dallas Theological Seminary, Bob Jones University, all of these, they're all teaching the same thing. And it's crazy. And when I was studying for my degree, there was 10 American pastors come over and we were doing a higher study. So we had a guy who actually works in Strasbourg Human Rights Court. Very, very, very clever man. Very solid believer. But, I mean, brains to burn. Guy was so clever, it was terrifying. And we were all being lectured with this man and stuff. And none of the Americans had ever heard any other eschatology, end times theology, other than rapture. They weren't even aware there was any other, and this guy explained to them, look, 99.8% of the entire world's Christians have no knowledge of the rapture or dispensationalism or Christian Zionism. They don't know anything about it. It's only people like me and some Reformed people who make it a point to know about it. Most people don't know anything about it. And they were amazed. These Americans were blown away. So
I did tag Colin. I was hoping he'd come on because the other part I want to play a little bit later. I got a chain of them. It has to do with the whole ICE thing and them ramming a car and all that kind of stuff and attacking ICE agents.
They were taught amillennial, premillennialism, postmillennial. They were taught the main tenets of the Christian world's view on eschatology, and it blew their minds and they couldn't believe it. And these were pastors. These weren't students. These were pastors. Some of them running very big churches. So it's terrifying how deep that's got amongst America. But I think we've done a good job. Ollie is Jada. Jada's been on it. I've been on it. We've all been on it. I think we've done a good job of trying to straddle that fence without falling into the trap of being Jew bashers or Jew haters, because I can't stand these people. And I hate it when they think I'm one of them, because I'm not one of them. Yep. What is it, Roger? Having a hard time convincing some friends that generation isn't about Israel and the rapture. All right, Roger, you'll have a very difficult time. Very difficult time. It's hard, you know. But I mean, you show something in the Bible, they say to you, because, you know, I've asked people, even some folk in the organization, they'll say, yeah, I was taught that at Bible school. And those who bless Israel shall be blessed, and those who curse Israel shall be cursed. I think it's Genesis.
Mark, isn't that a heavy accent? I know. He's from Southern England. I can tell because I've had people on, and if they're from Southern England, they definitely have a heavier accent.
I think he's quoting it in Genesis 12:3 or something. It's not there. It doesn't exist. It's not in the Bible. It's those who curse Abram. He's not even called Abraham at this time because he's living in the land of Ur. There's no Israel. It's not.
So I haven't watched this myself. I was going to play it with you.
It's not.
I only watched the first part.
So he's saying those who curse Abram, I will curse, and those who bless Abram, I will bless. It's got nothing to do with Israel because there's no Israel there. It's not there. It doesn't exist at this stage. So it's madness. And as Roger Madison saying, he's having a hard time having people believe that's not Israel. Well, look, there's certain things that people just won't budge on, and you know they get their certain knickers in a twist, and they won't budge on it, even though you show them proof to the contrary. They will
Knickers and a twist.
Not budge on it. It's as simple as that. And I've often found that with dispensationalists, it's like a closed shop. I also find this with charismatics who practice the glossiola.
You're right, Marianne. It is Old Testament.
Tongues. You show them from Acts, is it Acts 2?
Oh, you think it's Scottish?
You show them that when the Holy Spirit descended upon people, the people were amazed because they could hear the apostles speak in their own tongue. The word tongue there is just language. It's an old English word for language. What tongue dost thou speak in, sir? I does speak in German or whatever. You know, it's an old word for just a word for language. But the thing is this: there was 14 nationalities standing on the Bible. This is on Medes, Parthians, Greeks, and each one were amazed because they could hear the apostles speak in their own language. So, to a Greek, they could hear the apostles speak in Greek. To a Parthian, they could hear the apostles speaking in Parthian. It's laid out as plain as the nose in your face. It is utterly impossible to be confused with that. But still, the charismatics say, no, tongues means this. No, it doesn't mean that. Never did. And it's simple.
Irish,
I think it's Acts 2. They're pouring out the Holy Spirit at Pentecost. It's absolutely plain as the nose in your face. But you try and argue with a Pentecostal in tongues, brick wall. Try and argue with a dispensationalist on the rapture and things like that.
But not
brick
live.
wall. So you've got to think to yourself, God has sent them a strong delusion that they would believe a lie. Walk away from them. Shake the dust from your feet and walk away. If the Holy Spirit cannot convince these people of the error, gross error of their ways, Roger Madison or Jim Dawson or Jennifer Aniston has absolutely no chance whatsoever, and it's most arrogant to assume that you could. So just walk away from them. Leave them be. I need to lean into this. I live in a so-called Bible Belt, and all the snake-shaped Baptists, and they can't be convinced. I know, it's crazy. It's crazy. You can't do nothing with these people. You just need to leave them be. Yep, they can't be convinced. That's the way it is. And it's very arrogant of us to think we can convince them. Leave them be. The Holy Spirit hasn't spoken to them. They're doomed.
I don't think he's
They're
Catholic.
doomed. So that's it. It's just madness. So leave them be.
Mark,
Anyway, let me see where
Scottish
I am with this
mostly-
thing now. I'm trying to get through this and I think, what am I looking at?
I know my mom's maiden name was McLean, and they had half Scottish, and they were Catholic.
Celebrate. All right, here's a wee bit more celebrations on this that I want to just keep. Because, look, it's a joyous day. Can you imagine the pain of those families? 2 years your relatives been away, captured by jihadis, and Israel dropping 200,000 tons of ordnance on you. It's a miracle in them life. But here's some more celebrations. And, you know, we should take time to acknowledge this.
There are some gentleman in a white t-shirt. I'm presuming he's a hostage, with his hands over his head, and he's placed them in front of his mouth there in sort of fists. He's waving now. He looks relatively healthy. He's basically
thin but alive.
But thankfully alive. He's done
I think the people in Gaza have to disarm the Hamas ones.
the heart sign with his hand.
And he's sitting in a van which is being driven, I believe, through Hostage Square there. So straight from Gaza, he's seeing so many people cheering and whooping, putting his hands to his head. He can scarcely believe it after 2 years of hell that he's been released, that he's free. But of course, he must go to the hospital. He must have his medical checks. But what a moment, Mark White.
I think it's obvious that freed hostage asked for that. They would not have subjected him, to suddenly all these thousands of people unless, as he was driving through, he said,
I'm interested in seeing what chat thinks about, is this piece going to hold? What does chat think? I'm cautiously optimistic. It's going to take the help of like Egypt and Turkey and all them, although I don't like the guy from Turkey, Erdogan.
Open, let me, see them and wave to them, because you've got to have the care of someone like that uppermost in your mind, and having been kept maybe in solitude, we don't know, but under very difficult circumstances for 2 years. They wouldn't have wanted to do that unless that young man was determined that he wanted to celebrate with the crowd and wave and show his appreciation. It was very heartwarming to see that, but you're right, I mean, very skinny.
Well, he was, wasn't he? But Audrey did say that actually there was a helicopter bringing the hostages and they actually wanted to go around again to see the square.
Yes.
So, you know, again, must be such an emotional moment to believe that you've actually survived this awful ordeal. So many people have.
Yeah, it's quite incredible. We should celebrate that these people have been released. And that guy, he looks all right, although he's a bit skinny. A brother mentioned a good thing. I was going to mention it tomorrow, but today is the day, so as well quickly mention it. We'll be doing more on it tomorrow, obviously. Today in 1307, I believe, the great disaster befell the Templar Order on the 13th of October, all those years ago. So say a prayer today. And remember
30 days?
the great sacrifice that the Templar brothers made was forced
John,
upon them
I kind of give
all
it 6
those years
months.
ago. But we're still here. We're still strong. It's hard to get rid of God's people, isn't it?
Mainly
Very hard.
Baptist, huh?
So I'll be concentrating that tomorrow.
I know he's not Baptist because he.
But yeah,
complains about
it's good to
Baptist,
see some people rejoicing in a bit of joy and happiness in the world. But you've also got to remember there's 20
not saying he
released
was. Okay, I get it.
Israeli hostages released. There's also been 270 Palestinian prisoners released because Israel's holding tens of thousands of them, but also 1,700 detainees, which are people arrested without charge.
They gave up Hamas. They gave up, or Israel gave up 2,000 people for this 20. 2,000 people for 20 hostages or prisoners.
So Israel's releasing 270 Palestinian prisoners and
278.
1,700 detainees. So it's nearly 2,000 of them being released as well. Some pictures of the early stages of that. So, you know, I'm sure it's very difficult for them as well. And we don't know who's innocent.
I hope they don't get, you know, the ones they gave back aren't ones that are going to attack them, you know.
And who's Hamas? I mean, Hamas isn't a particularly big organization. There's 2.5 million people live in Gaza. If Hamas had 12,000 or 15,
like someone was saying, there's gangs in there that want to take Hamas down, though. So there's going to be a lot of factions fighting. Although there's supposed to be troops from other countries coming in to keep the peace. I don't know. They're going to speak the same language, so maybe they'll be able to.
1,000. It's a tiny drop in the ocean to the amount of people that's there.
Temporal.
But obviously they're human beings as well. They've got mums and dads and brothers and
right
sisters and husbands and wives and all that. So here's some scenes of them being released. Now, the thing is this. The big problem with this whole shenanigans is this. I mean, we've dropped equivalently about 15.
I hope we're both wrong, Charles. I don't think it'll last either.
Nagasaki's and Hiroshima bombs on Gaza. Killed 65,000 women and children. That's a fact. That's not made up. That's real.
It's got to last at least 10 years for me to believe it, you know.
And there's now, they reckon, well over 100,000 children who have
all their
lost
kids
limbs.
are brought up hating.
And many hundreds of thousands of people who have been injured to the point of life-changing injuries. So this is just about every single person in Gaza has lost a relative, a brother, a sister, a mother, a father, an auntie, an uncle. Everybody's lost somebody. And if this was an exercise to try and take the steam out of Islamic fundamentalism and to try and de-radicalize people, I think it's probably the biggest failure the world has ever seen.
Mark, I don't understand your comment. Shame on you seeing the coats of arms above your head. They're to be on the house?
Because not only have they radicalized people to a crazy degree, because you could...
I think that's computer added, that he doesn't actually have that on his wall.
Have you seen Gaza? There's nothing there. So you've no job, you've no money, you've no houses. It's going to take at least 2 years, they reckon, to clear the rubble before they start rebuilding. And many members of your family have been killed, because remember, they're big families in Gaza. So the average family, they reckon, I was watching something the other day, and the average family's lost 15 people to either death or very, very seriously injured. Imagine if you had 15 people in your family dead or very seriously injured.
Many of them.
The majority of whom are women and children. So just put that in context. These are not young men fighting in a war. These are babies and wee kids and women and old ladies and mothers and things like that. I cannot imagine the radicalization that would provoke in me or you, but I'm sure you can imagine it. So far from bringing things to a closure here, this is the beginning. And across the world, the intifada, worldwide intifada, which everybody's missed at the moment. Let me tell you something. These marches you're seeing every day in London and in Paris and in Rome and in Berlin and in Stuttgart and in The Hague and in Brussels, they're all over. And in America, New York, Seattle, all these different places, all these Palestinian marches, they're going to go on. Because I don't think anybody's, I was talking to Mr. Griffin this morning about it, I don't think anybody's twigged this yet. What you're seeing now is the marches.
Hope was that they would all stop.
Themselves have now involved into a holy war, an intifada, an uprising. This is like the freedom marches in the deep south in America in the 1960s.
They don't want just the Jewish dead. They want all of us dead that aren't Muslim.
Selma. Yeah, Mississippi burning and all that. Or the civil rights marches in Northern Ireland in the late 1960s that morphed into, well, in America, your civil rights marches morphed into the Black Panthers, the Weathermen, and all manner of nuttiness. Here in Northern Ireland, the civil rights marches, you know, they're all singing, "We shall overcome." Same songs as they sang in America. You remember it? "We shall overcome," or we shall not be moved. Do you remember that? Remember all them? Same songs in Northern Ireland. Well, in America, they morphed into the Black Panthers, the Weathermen, and all that stuff. In Northern Ireland, they morphed into the IRA, the INLA, the IPLO, extreme Marxist murder gangs. Same in America, the Black Panthers, Weathermen, extreme Marxist murder gangs. That is what's happening. That's what's been triggered with this whole Gaza thing. And that ain't going away. These pro-Gaza parades are not going to stop. It's nothing to do with Gaza. It's a worldwide intifada being ramped up and driven.
Marianne, I bet you it's at least 6 months, if not longer.
By the left wing. You know and I know the left wing are scrawny, weedy little dweebs. They couldn't pull the skin off a rice pudding. They couldn't fight sleep. My old mother used to say. They're as weak as an aspirin in a barrel of water. So who do they need? They need men, tough guys. Guys that are hard, tough. The Muslims, the blacks. The blacks. That's exactly what they're going to do. And that's what this is all about. So these things have been encouraged by the left wing, by the Soroses of this world, by all these Marxist NGOs. They can see now we have a ready-made army here. Because let's face it, Soros spent a lot of money to try and get an army on the ground in America. And what did they end up with? Antifa. Now, they're troublesome. But they're not really that much trouble when you put the National Guard in against them. Or even allow the Patriots to get near them. Accent? It doesn't end well for them, doesn't it? No, because they're all scrawny, skinny, dying, pathetic, vegan weirdos. They can't fight sleep because they're too feeble. Because they're vegan oddballs and they smoke drugs and all the rest of it. And half of them are riddled with AIDS, herpes, gonorrhea, syphilis, and all the rest of it because they're degenerate filth. So they're not really up to much fighting, are they? They're not really that good if it comes to the bit. But now, Mr. Soros and others like him can see, okay, what we can use Antifa is the mechanism to draw all these tough Muslims and Africans and these kind of people and Arabs, as you call them in America, draw them in because they are tough and they will fight and they'll lift guns and they will sacrifice their lives because they're fanatics. That is what you're witnessing in the streets, and that's what we're going to be left with after Gaza fades into the distance. But I don't think that will either. But you know what I mean? The big takeaway from this is the West is now in an irreversible slide into serious civil disorder and possibly
Marianne, most of us call them Trantifa because a lot of them are trans.
Civil war. 100%. That's where we're going. And there's not a damn thing any of us can do about it.
23% of them are trans.
Let me see now.
They're fighting
these
the
compelled to rebuild. Yep. It does start now. 100%. It really does start now. And this is the problem. This is the real issue, and there's no real cure for it. There is no real cure for it. And what's going to happen shortly with the internecine fighting now in Gaza between the clans and Hamas, and the clans, by the way, have been armed by America, Israel, of course. There's going to be a huge displacement because I think Hamas will win that fight because they're very well trained, Hamas, and they're battle hardened now. And you'll have tens and tens of thousands of clan members being told to get out of Gaza. Well, Israel's no way to take them. So they're coming to a town near you. Yes, you'll be getting lumbered with these deeply generational criminal gangs like the IRA in Northern Ireland. The most effective murderous groups in them were South Armagh border family criminal gangs for generations. There were smugglers and all sorts of criminality. Then they just morphed into terrorists.
I think a lot more of the Hamas will end up in Europe than America, at least for now.
When it suited them. So those people will be getting kicked out of Gaza and they will be coming to the West, 100%. So we're going to be treated to having tens of thousands of crazed, jihadi, criminal-minded madmen being sent to the West. That's all we need. But again, they'll feed into this global intifada, the uprising. So there we are. I don't know what we're going to do about that. Terrible stuff.
Good one, Charles.
The death of Malcolm X was a
Trickster?
bad situation as well, as he was trying to speak to black communities. Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, Malcolm X was deliberately politically assassinated. I've seen a lot of documentaries and films of Malcolm X. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. But here's another one coming out of there. Let me see. Is that one here? I haven't showed that. Here's another one. Is some of the Palestinians getting out.
In Gaza, there was a lot of celebration about it being over. We'll see how long it holds.
There is no real cure for this. And I know Trump's basking in the limelight at the moment, and it all seems wonderful. But look, here's the reality. And I don't know why people don't understand this. I had a boy talking to me the other day, an American, of course. He says, there's no such place as Palestine. Well, even in your Schofield reference Bible at the back of the map saying Palestine. It's just madness to say there's no such place as Palestine. Never has been. It is lunacy.
Well, when it was originally called Palestinian people, it was all Jewish area, even before the Romans were there. That's when it was first called that. There was never actually a country called that. When
the children of Israel went into the Promised Land, they found a place called Canaan, but they also found a place called the land of the Philistina. And that was always, even in the times of Christ. Wait a minute, get one of these Bibles. Excuse me. I don't know what one it is. I've seen the other day. It was very clear. These are old King James Bibles. You know, these are old things. No axe to grind to anybody. They're just normal, just showing you maps of the Holy Land. I don't know if it was this one. Wait, I'll see if it is. It's very good. This, it shows you on different times. Aye, there you go. The Holy Land in the time of the kings. I don't know if you can see it there. Down here.
Is everyone else getting a lot of these fake
Philistines? Guess what's in there? Gaza, Ashkelon, Ashdod, Ekron, Philistine. Okay? And then you go to the Holy Land during the time of our Lord's ministry. And there you go. It shrunk a bit, but it's still there. This wee bit here. There it's there. Still not under the control of Israel or Judah. And there you go.
Israel is
still the same. Country. Gaza, Ashkelon, Rafah. It's there. I don't know if I can get this up to the camera close enough. Can you see it? You see it there? There you go. Just. Oh, that's the wrong page. Oh wait, I can't do it. But anyway, it's there. Look at your Bibles yourself. You'll see it. It was always a separate place for the Philistina, the Philistines. It's always been there.
Yeah, I'm not.
For folk to have a Bible in their house and deny it, it's just stupidity.
That's why I'm stopped
brain dead, moronic behavior. It's there. Gaza and always a different. It was always sealed off. You'll see it in the map of the Bible. That wee patch, Gaza, has always been separate. In fact, the Templars wanted the castle there in Gaza. Let me see this. Yeah, Philistines, Palestinians. Exactly. I just don't understand people's mentality. So you go back to the time. I mean, you're talking here now way before Jesus. I mean, long time, 1,000 years before Jesus.
was no
Palestine,
Muslims then.
Philistines, the Palestinians. It's nuts. Philistine. There you go. That's the time of the kings. That's a long time ago. The time of Jesus. And it just goes on and on and on. It's just silliness that people just refuse to accept reality, actual, real, genuine facts. Let me see this other Bible.
But they weren't Muslim then. So
let me see how that takes care of it. That's maybe a better one. Cana. This is when the tribes first arrived. Look at it. It's in white down here. Hold on a minute. Wait, I see it. Can you see it there? Wait a minute.
It's got to move to the other side.
There it's there. Can you see it there? There you go. There you go. Sitting there. There it's there. There it's there on this bit. Philistines. Gaza, Ashkelon. It's even in the times of the tribes arriving in Cana, the land of Cana. There it is, the Philistines. And by the way, the Palestinians, the Philistines are, guess what, a Semitic race. Same as the real Jews. It's a Semitic race, but it's there. And it's always been there. So I do not understand why Christians are teaching this. They've got Bibles. Look at them. It's just daft. Silliness. Yeah, politicians, daft. The police over there are it's crazy.
So
it really is.
Muslims started 610 years after Jesus. So it couldn't have been. They had to be Jewish there.
Silly, and it needs to be addressed. It's silly.
Looked it up.
There's always been the Philistines, the Palestinians. If people don't understand that a Philistine is a Palestinian, there's something wrong with their head. And there's always been the land of the Philistines, which is now known as the Gaza Strip. But that was a place that did more than Gaza in it. Gaza, Ashkelon, and more towns that Israel's now sort of absorbed. But there you go. It's always been there. And they argue different. So because it's difficult then, because if you realise these people have been there when the children of Israel turned up, they were already there. Ha! That makes it a wee bit more difficult, doesn't it? Makes it a wee bit more difficult. So they guys were there before Moses led the people into the land of Canaan. They people were there. So they were promised that land. That's fine. If you want to take it like that, they were promised that land. So what you're saying here, they're allowed to annihilate everybody who's on it because God says so. Okay, if you want to take that biblical perspective to it, fine. But don't try and hide behind, it wasn't there in the first place, all that nonsense. Just be honest and say, look, I actually believe that Israel's got the right to massacre every single Palestinian and take the Holy Land. Just say it.
Actually,
you want to say that because that'd make them look wacko. And that whole idea it's just strong delusions. It's not good. But there you go. So I think we've done well straddling that line. But I'm just glad now that these hostages, what's left of them, 20 of them, have been released. And I think it's wonderful for the families. I think it's wonderful for the people. And I think it's also wonderful that a lot of the totally innocent Palestinians, thousands of them. There's 8,000 still being held on detention without charge. 8,000, but there's 2,000 out now. Now 270 of them are quite hardcore terrorist people. Yeah,
it's hard to tell though.
Just the deal they had to do, the deal that Donald Trump and his team brokered. So there's about 270 hardcore Hamas people being released as well. But the other 1,700 are just normal punters that have just been grabbed off the street and held for any kind of reason or no reason at all. So things are going in the right direction, but it's not over by a long shot yet. And I think the ramifications for the West are going to be with us for a very, very long time, folks. Very long time indeed. But
I'm hoping it holds.
Well done, Donald Trump. Well done.
We need to stop spending money on that bullshit.
All he has to do now is stop the Ukraine war.
Or should I say money laundering.
Which I think is next on his agenda. Listen, Donald Trump, everybody laughs at him and thinks he's a fool. Donald Trump is a shrewder man.
Europe wants the Ukraine war to keep going because they love spending money on it because of the kickbacks.
You'll ever meet. He's no fool. He puts on the clown act, but Donald Trump is far from being a clown. Far from it.
I don't know what's it called.
His mother was a MacLeod, one of the most formidable, probably the most formidable clans in Scotland. The MacLeods are a special breed of people. I'm telling you, I told you this years ago, and I think people knew what I was talking about. The MacLeods are a different breed. And he's got the German blood as well. Oh my goodness. No wonder he's the man he is. So Donald Trump, with all his faults, I reckon the next step now, he's going to sit down with old Vlad and say, right, we're stopping this carry on. Trump is going to say to Vlad, Mr. Putin, right, what do you want here? And Putin's going to say, I want all the territory we've got. We want the whole of the obelisks in the east, the whole of Donetsk, and the other one, I can't remember. Right up, he want basically like the Dnieper River will be the border. So Russia will get a wee bit even more than they've got now. And Trump will just say to Zelensky, that's the deal. That's it. There is no negotiation. Russia's taking up the Dnieper River. That's it. That's the deal. That's the next thing that's coming. And then that wretched war can stop. You know, there's nearly 10,000 men a week being killed in that war. Yeah, even now, even though we're not hearing about it, 10,000 young men a week. I don't care if they're Russians, Ukrainians, or anybody else, people coming in from North Korea. I don't care who they are. There's 10,000 young men losing their lives.
About 4 days ago, Tammy, they started a Rumble channel. Jada and them started one about, I think it was about 4 days ago was the first time they were on.
Every single week in that stupid war now. It needs to stop. And the only man that can get it done is Donald Trump. End of story. Donald Trump is the only man that can get this done. And I hope he does it.
He's a good deal maker. There's no doubt about that. He's able to
a clear
twist
path to
some
the
arms.
Crimea.
That's what he did here.
It's just that's the way it's going to be. Now, Crimea is an interesting thing. Everybody says he annexed and stole Crimea. You know? They did a vote that was monitored by international monitors, and 98% of the people of Crimea voted to secede to Russia. Yeah. So, you know, 1 minute we're shouting about people must obey democracy, and we don't believe it. And of course, in Ukraine, when the democratically elected president didn't want to go.
Zelensky doesn't want to end the war because then they'd have to have an election and he would get voted out.
The West's way and back the UN, not the UN, back the EU. What happened? Coloured revolution. America and Europe fired money into the mad neo-Nazi, crazy right-wing Azov and right bloc to depose a democratically elected president. So this nonsense that the West spouts about democracy, it's only democracy when it suits us, when it goes our way. When it goes the other way, all of a sudden we promote a coup. And just about every single coup in the world these last 50 years has been started by either a European power, France or Britain, or the good old US of A. And talking about that, we're looking right now at Venezuela. Oh, the black propaganda going out against Venezuela is something shocking because America's just about to step into Venezuela. I wonder why. Is the American administration suddenly so devastated about the living conditions of the poor Venezuelan peasants? I doubt it. No, they've got the biggest oil and gas reserves anywhere in the world, even bigger now than Saudi Arabia.
Here you go, Tammy.
That's what's going on there. But listen, I'm an imperialist by nature. I don't mind. If we're just honest and say, listen, the Venezuelans are a bunch of crackpots. It's been run by a bunch of crooks. So we're getting in.
Tammy.
We used to do this. Britain done this. We didn't hide it. Well, we did. We'd make up excuses.
But those are old videos.
But just going to say, take that over. They've got all these resources. It's like giving a kid a Rolls Royce. They don't need it.
Jada's been
so we're going to take it, and that's it. But we'll be good. It's good to the people as well. We'll bring benefits to the country. But that's it. We're annexing this because we need it. We're an industrial power, and that's the end. Britain used to do it. We've done it for 200 years. So if that's the deal, let's do it. But don't make up daft stories like drug cartels and all this. It's just nobody's wearing that. You know, America's getting into Venezuela for one reason only, to secure those oil and gas.
There's so much money going down the tubes with Ukraine. Although he's talking about goods and stuff like that, gas and oil and materials. That's what we really do need out of there.
Gas reserves to make sure no other foreign power gets it. And that's acceptable as far as I'm concerned. But let's be honest about it, and let's make sure the Venezuelan people don't suffer for this. Let's make sure they are winners in this as well, and I'll be happy.
Well, they're eating zoo animals, so I think they are suffering already. So we do need to free them from their dictatorship there.
Fair enough. So there we go. There you go. Right, well, I'm going to get off and leave you to it. Put more. You might see the eye drops. I've got to get different eye drops. You've never seen anything like it. And they're very painful.
Hey, Kurt.
I'm going to put some of them in. But I'm going to leave you with, because although the hostages being released, the Israeli hostages and the Palestinian hostages being released, it's all wonderful and great. And Trump's been hailed as a hero. I mean, This is the Democrats' worst nightmare. Trump is like the Pied Piper now.
15 times.
He's
Kurt.
the
Wow.
hero of the whole world.
I know
with this
this.
Gaza
I
thing.
probably had about 6 fake
But
accounts.
at the end of the day, all of this is not
I don't
really
know.
our
I
business.
usually friend
We are
them,
Christians.
just
We follow
okay
the
it,
Lamb.
and then next thing you know, I got a
We
message.
follow Yeshua, Jesus, the Christ, the Savior. That's who we follow. So all this other stuff is complementary, supplementary to whatever. But at the end of the day, let's not lose sight of the fact that our Christian brethren in Africa are being butchered by the hundreds every single week. Nobody's talking about it. It's not in the news.
Christians
Nobody
are being
cares.
killed all the time.
Everybody cares about Gaza. Nobody cares about Kenya. Nobody cares about Nigeria or some of these other African countries where Christians are being slaughtered by the thousands. Nobody's caring about that. And nobody's caring about the Christians being slaughtered in the Middle East.
Hey, Shirley.
The Middle East used to be Christian, not now. So I'm going to leave you tonight with a beautiful hymn sung in semi-Arabic, semi-Aramaic and Arabic, different thing. But I'm going to leave you with this beautiful hymn from the Holy Land, from our people, from our brethren, from our Christian brothers and sisters. And let's remember, all of this other stuff, this background noise that's going on in the Middle East shouldn't be happening, because the whole Middle East should be Christian. It should be under the banner and the cross of Jesus Christ. And until all of these people understand that, there will never be peace in the Middle East. It's not possible. But under Christ, there could be. So we need to pray that one day the whole region comes back under the banner
When they
of
stop
Jesus
making money
Christ.
from war.
So I'm going to
then
leave
there
this
will
with
be.
you now. God bless you all. Thank you for joining us in the Christian Nationalist Party today. If you haven't joined the party, please do so. We would very much appreciate it. And God bless you. I'll see you tomorrow in the Temple Report, if the good Lord preserves me and this wretched purge thing works. I might not see you. You might see me. This eye's getting worse, so I might not see you at all. But in God's will, I'll be there. So until then, remember, stick close to God.
It is money
You won't go far
laundering.
wrong. Do his fault.
Is this some particular denomination, anyone? All right, I'm going to go on to the other thing I was going to play. This is about the ICE, the tax on ICE ones. They actually caused an accident, and oh, you'll see here. This guy does a pretty good job here. It's JLR Investigations.
Breaking news, breaking news. We got a major situation going on in Chicago. ICE agents crashed their vehicle, and there's
Sorry to hear
a
that.
big mob of people confronting ICE agents right now in Chicago. A major situation here in the middle of an intersection. It looks like multiple vehicles, or at least one
Can
vehicle
everyone hear
is
this
crashed
okay?
with a mob of people surrounding ICE, and ICE and federal agents have guns out. So we have a situation going on in Chicago. Once again, this is crazy, folks. Come on in, and there is a large group of people. It appears neighbors have come out and confronted ICE and trying to get at ICE here. What in the heck is going on, folks? This is the situation going on right now in Chicago, Illinois. Some sort of vehicle crash. It looks like maybe multiple vehicles crashed, or at least one. And a large group of people out here waving flags in ICE's face. Looks like multiple vehicles here in the street. So we're going to monitor the situation, find out what in the heck is going on. Hopefully it's not the same scenario as it was a couple weeks back when ICE got ambushed by a group of people. But there is something going on here. Something definitely going on here. Vehicle crashed. People are coming out confronting ICE. ICE has now started a perimeter around this situation.
Kurt,
this is crazy.
Recovery?
This is absolutely crazy, folks. Come on in. Continuous coverage of the craziness that has been happening in Chicago just in the last few weeks. Whoa, the videos are coming out, man. So many people have been very hostile towards ICE agents. I've seen videos where ICE agents will be driving in their vehicle and people will be coming up to them, giving them the finger, pointing cameras in their faces, pointing cameras at their license plates, hurling things at ICE agents. So I don't know what happened
rocks at him here.
I don't know what happened here. But we got a major situation going on. It looks like some sort of possibly Avenue North. So I'm going to find out locations about this situation here in the neighborhood. Looks like dozens of people came out here to confront ICE in the neighborhood. Whoa, this is crazy. Crazy. This is happening right now, folks, in Chicago.
It actually
was this an ambush? But they're being ambushed now, ICE agents, because look at this. Look at this. It's like a standoff. It looks like some sort of standoff. Look, people are running, coming up closer. This is crazy. Look.
They aren't letting ICE, they're blocking it so ICE can't even get out of there.
Vehicle has been crashed. Are they involved in an accident by chasing down someone that was an illegal by arresting them and they crashed? Or is there more to this story? We're going to try to find out.
I've got the video.
What's going on here?
I'll play it here.
Nevertheless, the people are coming out. It appears that they're angry with ICE.
All right, I'm going to pause this. Now, here's the actual what happened. There's no sound to this. Watch close. See him jump out of the car, and then someone jumps out of the front side of the car. So one goes one way, the other one's chase that woman. Two of them go that way to chase him. And the car's still in reverse there, see it? I'll play it again. This is actually what happened when they started gathering around him. Everyone see that okay? I'll play it a little bit later again. Let me close this. All right, we'll go back to this.
With ICE, and ICE has set up a perimeter with their guns out.
This gets worse.
This is crazy.
They start throwing stones and stuff at them.
Not good. Not good, folks. Not good. In Chicago. Not good. Mass chaos, another situation.
Hey, Kurt.
And here we go. I saw this pop up, and I'm like, holy smokes, not again. Not again.
Too bad, poor.
See a lot of people in the chat. Make sure you share this video out as we understand.
Yeah, he wants to save all these
what
voters,
has been going on in Chicago.
All illegal voters.
For weeks now.
These criminals.
4 weeks. But we got a major intersection blocked. We got a vehicle.
I think
at least that one white vehicle in the middle is crashed.
You think?
And I thought I saw another vehicle crashed. Right? It's crazy.
You think they'll get even more violent, huh?
Once again, more craziness going on in Chicago.
They're desperate for this globalist new world order. No borders.
We'll try to find out more what's going on here. The media is up in the area. ABC Chicago, CBS is talking about the situation right now. And here we are. Clearly, you can see that people are, trying to get up into ICE's face. ICE has set up a perimeter here. It looks like a tow truck is coming in.
The weather is starting to get colder, but before it gets cold out, while it's still nice, we have a
skip as quick as I can. It'll probably happen
definitely got craziness going on here. This comes after a lot of officials were out in front of Broadview yesterday demanding that
that's why they want
the ICE facility cease their action.
That's part of the reason why they want the shutdown. Because a lot of these government employees are out here too. All the leftist employees are doing this. They'll be part of the No Kings protest, that's for sure. They'll have time off to do it because they'll be laid off.
Actions. They want the fence to be taken down. Is that Chicago police there too? So it looks like maybe Chicago police are there too. Possibly Chicago police are out there with them because the last time Chicago police abandoned ICE agents when they got ambushed a couple weeks ago. This is crazy. You see the people at the top of the screen, so we got a vehicle. We got one vehicle crash.
They've also got
the people at the top of the screen with the flags. Somebody came out with a Mexican flag.
See the cars over here blocking
Looks like a Mexican flag, and they're draping a flag. And ICE agents are there stopping them from coming forward.
They're not allowing them to get out of there.
Crazy. It's getting very hostile. It's getting very serious in Chicago.
The martial law
just in the last couple weeks. The Pritzker and Brandon Johnson, they're encouraging people to film ICE, confront ICE. First Amendment. First Amendment. Speak. Defend Chicago. Defend Chicago. And at the result of this, this could have been a situation where ICE agents were in fear and had to run away, or somebody, you know, a high-speed chase, or that led to a crash. Nevertheless, you see the mob out there. There's a mob out there. There's a mob of people.
This does get worse.
A mob of people.
Notice no American
ICE
flags.
continuously does get ambushed in Chicago. Every other day, you're seeing videos where people are trying to stop ICE from doing their duties, throwing things at their vehicles, yelling all types of craziness to them, speeding around, honking horns. ICE basically is like they'll be going to a location and other convoys of cars will be tailing them and warning people up ahead by honking their horns. It appears today that a large Facebook group centered around notifying the residents where ICE is got shut down today.
They've been also like swerving in front of them, trying to cause accidents and everything. They swerve in front of them enough to slow them down so they can't finish the chase. That's what was happening here, actually.
Today, there's a report out on that. Those ICE apps, Pam Bondi just put out a couple hours ago. Today, following outreach from the Justice Department, Facebook removed a large group page that was being used to dox and target ICE agents in Chicago. Goes on to say the wave of violence against ICE has been driven by online apps and social media campaigns designed to put ICE officers at risk just for doing their jobs. The Department of Justice will continue to engage with tech companies to eliminate platforms where radicals can incite imminent violence against federal officers. Can clearly see that these people are hostile right now towards ICE, and they had to set up a perimeter. Crazy.
That's why they need the National
Absolutely
Guard.
Crazy. Melissa Evans, thank you. Thank you.
I'm as well with you. Chopper 7 is over this scene. So this location is near 105th and Avenue N.
Yeah,
right
I agree.
Now, we are following reports that there has been a car crash of some sort involving federal immigration agents. But you can see what appears to be a very large group of agents there. We believe maybe roughly about 50 agents are on scene right now. There is also a very large gathering of bystanders on the scene. Many that you can see from this picture are holding flags and signs and appear to be protesting the efforts of those agents. Now, we have also seen Chicago police on the scene here. Our reporter, Michelle Gallardo, is there on the scene trying to work and get more information and learn more about exactly what happened here and what led to this situation and if there are any injuries. Not a whole lot of information being confirmed at this point.
Looks
Again,
like a car accident with multiple vehicles.
Looking at the southeast side of the city of Chicago. Location is around 105th and Avenue N. You see several vehicles involved here. We're told it was some type of a car crash involving federal agents. You see a tow truck there, some emergency vehicles on scene as well. As we mentioned, we believe we do have a crew on the ground there. Our reporter Michelle Gallardo is telling us that from what she could see and estimate, there are roughly about 50 agents on scene. Lots of people there. You see people holding phones, trying to record what is happening. This is basically what we have been watching for the last few minutes, unsure exactly how long this has been going on. So Chopper 7 got on scene literally just a few minutes ago and bringing this live picture for us. All right, I'm told that our reporter Michelle Gallardo is on the phone with us. She is there on the ground. Michelle, first tell us where you are and what do you see?
Judy, I'm at 105th and Avenue N, right at the intersection. And basically, this appears to have started about an hour ago when there was an accident right at this intersection. Apparently, the accident, from what one of the neighbors is telling me, was caused by an ICE vehicle that was chasing a red SUV, which is actually being towed away right now. I'm not sure if you're able to see that on the chopper video. In any case, what appears to have happened is that after this accident happened at the intersection, people from the neighborhood came out, and you can probably hear right now in the background the chants of ICE go home. But it just started to develop into an incredibly tense standoff between the people in the neighborhoods and the ICE agents that have flooded the area. And I should say Border Patrol is what I believe most of them are, from the insignia on their uniforms. From what I'm able to tell, there do appear to be, from what I've been able to count, about 50 agents on the ground here. So far, it's been pretty much a standoff with most of the people in the crowd, the neighbors in the crowd, reporting the agents, and the agents basically just standing without really doing anything. They've had their weapons pointed down. They did deploy at some point what appeared to be pepper bullets. And we are told, we were not able to capture this, but we're told that at least one person from the neighborhood was arrested and taken away after a confrontation. But again, we were not able to witness that confrontation or that arrest. Other than that, it really has just been mostly a very tense standoff here. The Alderman Chico, also arrived on the scene about 15 minutes ago. We've not been able to speak to him. He's been trying to get a handle on the situation. CPD is on the scene, but they've not really gotten involved. They've been here more as traffic control, blocking off the streets from circulation while the tow trucks come in to remove the vehicles. Those tow trucks are here right now. And we're assuming that once the vehicles that were impacted are removed and the agents leave, this situation will calm down. But for now, it remains just a very tense situation here, Judy, on the east side at 105th and Avenue N.
Michelle, stay with me here on the phone. We are taking a look at this live picture of Chopper 7 up in the air, so we can see that red SUV that you were referencing and the tow truck that is now on the scene. Take us through that scenario again. So according to what a neighbor is telling you, this accident was caused by possibly an ICE vehicle chasing this red SUV?
Yes, Judy. What this person told me, he lives in the neighborhood, but he's also an Uber driver, and he tells me that he was in his vehicle when he basically kind of had the chase happen alongside him. He says that the Border Patrol vehicle actually almost hit him as they were chasing this red SUV. It appears that that this chase may have been going on for a while. He said that they were going around the block.
Colin, are they deporting many people there in England and Great Britain? I heard they're starting to, just not a lot.
And that, the accident simply just came to happen exactly where we are now. And that was involving that red SUV and a white, I believe it's an Expedition, that was the Border Patrol vehicle. I'm trying to take a look at it just close up to be able to identify exactly. Yes, it is an Expedition. And that is the Border Patrol vehicle that got into the accident that apparently was chasing that red SUV. We don't know who the driver of that red SUV was, why they were chasing him. Again, this Uber driver, resident of the area, just recounting what he was able to witness as he was also driving to get home here to his neighbor.
I'll re-show that.
And Michelle, could I ask you, I know this is all accounts coming from the neighbors. Nothing has been verified and confirmed by officials yet. Was this neighbor able to tell you anything about the occupant of that red SUV or how many people were in it?
There was two.
No, he wasn't able to give me any information at all about.
Let me show that clip again. I got it. There was two in it, and they took off. Watch this. Watch close. There's two in this vehicle. This one jumps out of the side while it's still moving. The other one goes out the other side. They leave it in gear, and then their two agents chase the one, and one chases the woman. They're both all illegals. I'll play it again one more time. What do they call that maneuver to get them to spin out? Whatever. There's a name for it, and I can't think of it right now. Anyways, let me go back to the video.
that. The only additional information he provided was about the one person who was arrested. He said that person was beaten up before being taken away and put into one of the other Border Patrol vehicles that was here. We were able to see the vehicle where we were told he was in,
Maybe it'll get
but
better.
we did not. The windows are tinted out, and we were not actually able to see whether there was, in fact, somebody inside that vehicle. And I'm not sure if you can see right now from the chopper, but that white Expedition that
You must live here in the Northeast, Pat.
is being loaded onto the tow truck now, so it probably won't be long before it is taken out, and hopefully this situation diffuses itself.
Michelle, you're exactly right. We're seeing that.
Colin, after the live, go back a good hour and 20 minutes, okay? Because that part really was meant for about what's going on in England.
Picture right now from Chopper 7, this live picture of that white SUV belonging to the agents being loaded onto the back of that tow truck. And Michelle, again, you're our eyes and ears right there on the ground. You're describing roughly about 50 agents, and you believe most of them are Border Patrol agents?
It does appear that way, at least from what I've been able to see. I did try and do a rough count earlier, and I stopped when I was close to 50, but I still had not finished it. So I do believe it's at least that amount. And just based on, again, the uniforms that I'm looking at, I'm just able to see that it's mostly, it says Border Protection. I also have U.S. Customs and Border Protection, Border Patrol. Yes, that is what appear to be the majority of those who are here on the ground is what I'm seeing, at least the ones that I am close to right now.
Michelle, appreciate it very much. Stay with me here on the phone. We're going to pause our coverage here on stream. We'll be right back and continue our coverage of this breaking situation in a few minutes.
Nazis.
It's crazy, folks. It's going to get crazy here. We're just a little bit on a delay here, but some wild stuff happens. Arrests are happening and everything like that. Holy smokes. Folks, this is 105th Avenue in North Chicago. It appears Border Patrol and ICE agents are under attack by a mob of people that came to the street corner here after some sort of vehicle crash, multiple vehicles. It looks like ICE was chasing around this vehicle here. Well, for some reason, we don't know. Probably the driver was illegal. I mean, ICE is chasing vehicles of people that are in the country illegally, rounding them up.
You're not illegal. You don't
it ultimately resulted in a crash. And then the growing neighborhood, a mob in the neighborhood started coming out. And ICE had to put up, and Border Patrol's out there, had to put up a perimeter.
Good girl, Pat.
With the situation. Absolute chaos, folks. Border Patrol put up a perimeter around
from
the
Chicago,
location.
This is breaking news from ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Judy Stu. Let's get right to that breaking news right now. A very tense situation at this hour on Chicago's southeast side. Chopper 7 is over the scene near East 105th and Avenue N. That is a live picture you're looking at. We're following reports that there's been a car crash of some type involving federal immigration agents. There are about 50 agents at the scene right now from our reporter that is on the scene telling us. There's also a large gathering of bystanders on the scene, many of whom appear to be protesting the efforts of those agents. Now, we are told at the scene on the ground there that at one point federal agents deployed what appear to be pepper bullets. Our crews at the scene was told also by neighbors that at least one person might have been taken into custody. Again, no confirmation yet from officials there on the ground. This is coming to us from neighbors who have gathered at the scene following this crash. We have also seen Chicago police on the scene, but we're also told at this point that they're not necessarily involved in any of the activities there, but Chicago police are on the scene. Tow trucks have arrived to remove the two vehicles involved in that crash. It was a red SUV and also a white SUV. Right now, now you're looking at people moving on this intersection, a very fluid situation that we're told. Again, about 50 federal agents on the ground there. Our reporter who is there on the ground believe most of them may be Border Patrol agents. Chicago police are on the scene. The alderman for that ward is also there trying to gather more information. Of course, we will continue to monitor what is happening here and bring you the very latest this afternoon on Eyewitness News at 4. But we can continue our stream coverage over on our streaming platforms. We will join you there. For now, I'm Judy Sue in the ABC 7 newsroom. I'll see you at 4 o'clock.
This guy all in the black.
All right, so going to give you perspective of what the heck.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Judy Sue in the ABC 7 newsroom, continuing our coverage right now of this breaking situation, again, happening at 105th and Avenue N on the southeast side of Chicago. That is a live picture that we have been following now for the last half an hour or so. We believe what you're looking at, and I'm seeing this picture along with you, is an arrest of some sort, someone being taken into custody at this intersection.
Whoever invented this deserves a raise. Take a string and a
forward
pencil, twist off the faucet's old nozzle like this.
This situation has been going on for the last hour or so. We do have a crew there on the scene. They've had to move to a different location. So we will check in with Michelle Gallardo coming up as soon as we can, have her back on the phone with us. So I will walk you through what is happening here in case you are just joining us. This is happening at the intersection of 105th and Avenue, and you can see the locator right there and a live picture from Chopper 7. It came in as a report of a car crash involving federal immigration agents. We also heard from neighbors on the scene that possibly it was a white SUV with federal agents that might have been chasing a red SUV, and somehow a crash happened at this intersection. There's also a large gathering of bystanders that we have been watching on the scene, many of whom appear to be protesting the efforts of those agents. Some are holding signs and flags. We're also told at the scene that at one point, federal agents deployed what appear to be pepper bullets. Again, these are accounts coming from witnesses on the scene and neighbors who live near that area. Our crews at the scene was told that at least one person was taken into custody, and that was prior to the live picture that you just saw with another person possibly being taken into custody. We're also told that Chicago police are on the scene. They have responded. They don't appear to be, from what we could see, involved in the actions and the activities, but they are on the scene. Just a few minutes ago, we did see tow trucks on the scene towing away the red SUV that presumably was being chased by federal agents, and also the white SUV presumably occupied by federal agents. Both vehicles were being towed away. But right now, what you're looking at is essentially a standoff of some sort. We're told after this crash, which might have happened about an hour ago now, neighbors gathered at that intersection. Many people coming out, holding phones, recording what was happening, and then eventually leading to this type of a standoff that you were watching. First got on scene, and you were able to talk to some neighbors and some witnesses there on the scene and describe to us.
Judy, wait 1 second. I see Chicago police are arriving and putting themselves in the middle of the situation right now. It appears there might be someone in command, from what I can see, approaching the area. I'm not sure if this is an attempt to start dispersing the crowds, but we have just in the last few seconds seen Chicago police who had remained at bay now starting to put themselves in the middle of the, oh God. Protesters are starting to throw rocks. We're going to get away from the scene right now, Judy.
Okay, Michelle, you take care of yourself. I'm going to let her get off the phone. We really appreciate it. Get to a safe place. So what you're watching, what you continue to watch, is exactly what Michelle has been describing.
Tear gas deployed.
Again, at the intersection 105th and Avenue N. Last Michelle said as protesters started throwing rocks, and you can see that they're is
mostly
some chemical
peaceful,
being deployed right
They're
there
mostly peaceful.
at this intersection. Just prior to this, you did see what appeared to be Chicago police officers and some commanders there trying to have some type of a dialogue with
Kirk, that's the one who recorded this video.
the protesters
JLT,
there at the intersection. It would seem that they were trying to disperse the crowd and maybe usher them off the street so that the agents could possibly move their vehicles. And it was at that point that Michelle noticed that protesters started throwing rocks, and this is the end result. Earlier, we had heard that there were pepper balls being sprayed into the crowd because someone had thrown eggs, or some neighbors had thrown something at the agents. And now reports of rocks being thrown, and that was coming from Michelle, a reporter right there on the ground. She has now gotten off the phone with us. They're trying to get to a safer place, of course, but we can continue to watch this picture. Fortunately, with Chopper 7 up in the air, we can still continue to monitor what is happening here. Again, if you are just joining us here on stream, this situation has been very tense for the last, maybe about 40 minutes or so since we came on the air with this breaking situation. It started all with some type of a crash between again, this information is coming to us from neighbors on the ground. Nothing has been officially confirmed, but we believe this started with a crash involving a federal agent's vehicle, a white SUV that was on the ground there, chasing possibly a red SUV. We have no information about the occupant of the red SUV, the vehicle that they were presumably chasing. At that point, something happened, and there was an accident that was caused here at this intersection that you're watching at 105th and Avenue N. Now, this may have been about an hour and a half ago when this crash happened. Quickly, neighbors were told, gathered at that intersection, came out with their phones. There were a number of agents on the scene. Michelle Gallardo, our crew there on the ground, believe that they Michelle was telling us that they believe it was mostly Border Patrol agents, roughly about 50 of them to begin with, assuming that more agents might have gathered there on the ground since we started watching this at first. So it became a very tense situation between the agents, the two vehicles that had crashed, waiting to be towed away, and residents and neighbors at that intersection. And that was the story that we have been watching for the last now about 45 minutes. Ending at this point, which you were just witnessing, which is Chicago police officers responding to the scene, attempting to have some sort of a...
This charger actually repairs your phone while charging, and everyone thinks it's too good to be true. Nobody believed me at first, but now...
Words exchanged, dialogue with the neighbors there, and that is when things kind of went a little bit more chaotic.
Yeah, that's right.
Michelle saying that she saw neighbors throwing rocks and chemicals were deployed. Right now, the picture is pulled back a little bit from Chopper 7 as you watch this intersection. Obviously, you can see the protesters, the neighbors, people who were gathered dispersed quickly when that chemical was released. We're still waiting for confirmation of officially of what is happening here. We do believe there were dozens of agents on the scene. Chicago police responded, as you could see. We can see from this chopper picture earlier. The alderman of the ward is also there on site, trying to have some conversations with the people there and officials on what is happening. Michelle was able to relate to us that at least one person, possibly two, were taken into custody, and that information coming from neighbors there on the ground who described seeing the initial crash and what happened afterwards. The person who was talking to Michelle and sharing a lot of this information happened to be an Uber driver who was apparently in the neighborhood and witnessed the chase moving for quite some time, that person described, and then eventually ending in this crash. And of course, you saw that neighbors coming out to the intersection and waving flags and signs. That's
you think
what
we'll
we
be able
could
to turn
see,
this back around with
leading
economies?
to some type of a standoff, and that basically stayed status quo for about 40 minutes. And then right now we're trying to reassess the situation and see what is happening here. I'm going to pause for a second, let you take a look at this live picture and see if we can reconnect with our reporter on the scene.
Folks, so the situation, absolute chaos, crazy, Chicago, Illinois. We got now the Fox 32. That was the scene probably about 10, 15 minutes ago. Now we're live in the area now. It looks like ICE and Border Patrol left the scene. Chicago police, after all the tear gas and everything like that, it started. You could see things being thrown at the ICE agents or Border Patrol, federal agents. We'll just call them federal agents because I do think it's a combination of ICE and Border Patrol out there. And as soon as Chicago police tried to go between, then things just started kicking off, going absolutely crazy,
agree,
folks.
John. I grew
This
up in the country.
is insane. This is absolutely chaotic in Chicago.
safe.
But I do want to share something about a Facebook platform that people were using, a Facebook group that people were using to dox ICE agents. This is near the Indiana border. It's on 105th Street,
John.
near the Indiana border. It's just absolutely chaos, man.
They're just supposed to help each other.
So as soon as wherever they know where the ICE agents are or Border Patrol, the mob comes out and confronts them. Goes out there and attacks them, throws things at them. You heard, I guess they brought Border Patrol in because they started throwing eggs at ICE agents, and then the Border Patrol came there and helped them secure the area, and it got so bad where more and more residents come out. This is exactly what Pritzker was calling on residents to do. Confront ICE. Come out there. Use your First Amendment. Confront ICE. But it's not confronting ICE. It's actually being hostile towards ICE. It's confronting, but it's crossed that line past First Amendment for sure. For sure. When you're sitting there threatening ICE agents to their face, throwing things at them, attacking them, cornering them, surrounding them, that is an attack. It's clearly an attack. Encouraged by Brandon Johnson and Governor Pritzker.
We got another name for him.
Tear gas at this area to get away. This comes after bounties have been put on heads of ICE agents. Gangs have put bounties on heads.
Coming for another.
It's getting scary, folks. And I think we're almost into Insurrection Act time here. Seriously. I think we are in Insurrection Act time at this point. It is just getting chaotic. I want to find this report about the ICE agents being doxxed, or Pam Bondi putting out that they shut down a Facebook group. So they all come out. This is crazy. Trying to intimidate ICE. Try to protect their neighborhoods from ICE.
Out as much.
It's getting crazy, folks. In Chicago. This is towards the Indiana border.
Yep. Let ICE
absolutely
raid.
Crazy.
I agree, Charles.
What in the heck is happening here? And everyone come out.
Yeah, I agree about the flying the flags there, Tammy.
Coming out. Confront ICE. Confront Border Patrol agents. This is now the second time this major incident like this happened that we know about in the last 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, ICE agents were cornered and boxed in by multiple vehicles. A woman got out with a gun who has been making threats towards ICE agents. It is organized. It is organized here. It's in their brains. It's in their brains.
Trying to turn Chicago red.
That Pritzker and Brandon Johnson and some of the city council and some of the aldermen have put in people's brains here that they're all going to be snatched off the streets. And just regular citizens are being snatched off the streets in Chicago.
Bull.
They're putting it in their brains that they can do whatever they want to do to ICE agents. They're putting it in their brains. And it's emboldening. It's emboldening. It's emboldening. And they're still out in the neighborhood. Chopper's still up above. This is sick. This is crazy. This is dangerous. Very, very dangerous times we are at when it comes to Chicago and this situation. They came out there looking for a fight. Oh, absolutely, it's Brandon Johnson and Pritzker's fault. Absolutely. They have a responsibility to tone this down, and they've been amplifying it. And they're really the only ones. It's bad in Portland, but at least the public officials in Portland aren't overtly telling people to go confront ICE. they're not doing it on that level in Portland, even though we know that Portland officials, are either scared of Antifa or Antifa or have little side deals, but they're not publicly telling people to go do this type of stuff. But they are in Chicago. What's going on here? Chicago police. What's going on here? Chicago police. They came to the scene. You saw them there.
You're still hungry, huh? I have that feeling. Sorry
This is
about
why
the
you
ads.
shouldn't buy just one Masato knife. If you only buy one, you're
Skip it.
Oh, this is okay. These are people probably see, and then you probably got some journalists down there on the ground saying peaceful protesters got tear gas today by ICE agents. Peaceful protesters are just executing their First Amendment, executing their First Amendment rights.
Is that a
Got tear
restaurant?
gas because ICE agents attacked people. Going to be careful about that too. About the local media signing on. Now, I think the journalist that was talking about this at this time was pretty objective in their reporting on this particular report. But you got these activist journalists down on the ground there with certain news outlets like the Associated Press and on the ground, and they'll spin it a whole other way and say that ICE agents purposely attacked people in the streets today and spin it around. They'll use some videos, and some of the activists will take the videos and clip it up and make it look like ICE agents targeted everyone today, when you clearly saw some sort of accident. A crowd of the mob started surrounding Border Patrol and ICE agents. They created a perimeter. It started getting hostile, and then things were thrown at ICE agents, Border Patrol, and then they launched the tear gas and they left the scene. They had to escape. They had to get away. Didn't seem like a lot of Chicago police were there at all. This is, again, another attack, an attack on federal law enforcement. And this comes after a federal judge ordered the fence to be removed from Broadview. We're also monitoring that situation.
Yeah, a federal judge is telling them to remove the fence that's protecting ICE agents so they can go ahead and attack them now. Without the fence.
Absolutely, because so the police are still at the scene here.
They want an incident. They want a death.
A raging mob. I think it's calming down, but there's still a lot of people. Like the hornet's nest got shook a little bit. And all the bees are out there. Or they're using their apps. They're using their apps and their communications and their little Facebook groups and Discord groups and Telegram groups and telling people, this is where ICE is. Come on, let's go confront them. And telling everyone in the neighborhood to come out and confront them. We'll continue to look here. This is the intersection, the 105th intersection. They're still out there. They're still out there in this intersection here. Tear gas got deployed. There's Chicago PD right there in the middle of the road.
There's still
absolutely
a car
bonkers,
right here,
folks.
I don't know what they're doing with that car. It's kind of blocking.
We're living in some crazy times here. What's going to happen in Chicago?
There.
Ultimately, I think Insurrection Act is going to come. Particularly if you get these judges that claim there's nothing going on. Everything is fine. Everything is under control. And prohibiting the National Guard from going in there to protect
it's
federal troops, Border Patrol, DHS, ATF.
Basically, they're trying to stop ICE from doing its job and attacking them. And there was a car accident and all that kind of stuff. Lota? I don't know how to say your name.
It's crazy.
Latita.
Looks like the situation is calming down at the very least, but there's still a lot of people out, and there's that intersection. So it started with a car accident, ICE involved with a car accident, turned into a raging mob of people surrounding Border Patrol, and then tear gas. And they also said pepper bullets were shot out too. Crazy.
It's about 44% white, huh?
Make sure you share this video out. Send those citizens out there with the illegals so they can get together like they want to be. Haters going to hate.
I don't see an American flag there.
They're protecting the criminals. They're protecting the criminals. I don't understand why people are so adamant about allowing
we don't have
criminals,
either.
violent, dangerous criminals in the streets of Chicago. It's almost like the cartel have a stronghold over the mayor, the governor, who used to work with human rights. You know, the governor, all in the hotel business.
Good answer, Pat. It is a riot.
They're very adamant about not having federal authorities in Chicago. Pritzker and Brandon Johnson. Why? I think it's deeply personal here, and I personally think that the mayor and the governor is very afraid that the feds would uncover things. Remember Brandon Johnson?
Oh, there's so much dirt out there on them.
All those lavish gifts in the gift rooms, whiskey and designer bags and shoes. The gift room.
I have to refresh the page some.
The President of the United States said on the plane yesterday that he says the Insurrection Act has been used before, and I'm considering it, but he said we're not there yet. Vice President of the United States said over the weekend there is discussions about the Insurrection Act. It's on the table. Doesn't mean it's going to be used. The administration has pretty much called the situation here an insurrection or insurrectionist, and also said that Pritzker and Johnson should be in jail. Jail for this.
You've got to see this thing. It's absolutely wild. Once you apply it, it sticks around for good. This
Notice the name. Presidential Texas population.
Crazy. It's crazy in the streets of Chicago. So we're just seeing here if Sean Hannity actually just tweeted out 1 minute ago. Insurrection Act? Trump weighing all options in Chicago, says Pritzker should
Anyone
beg
in chat know
for help.
how that works, Insurrection Act in this case?
It's looking like a war zone in Chicago, folks.
Probably would give him some emergency powers.
Looking like a war zone in Chicago. ICE agents and DHS and Border Patrol said they're going to continue to round up the criminal illegal aliens, people in the United States or in the United States illegally. I mean, to me, it looks like the Insurrection Act is more and more likely to occur as each day. Because Pritzker and Johnson is going with their crazy rhetoric.
That's good, Colin.
Crazy rhetoric.
Yeah, it's either
insane,
we get this.
Folks.
We got to fix it now.
Literally insane.
If they get back in power and they let this many people
Indiana.
in this next 4 years, we're done. We'll never have our country back. We'll be part of the global.
We're also seeing about this fence in Broadview, whether it gets taken down. A lot of the officials were there yesterday in front of Broadview.
It did get taken down today because of the judge. They took it down about an hour before it had to be taken down, and now they're going to have trouble.
Broadview.
So they have no fence around the ICE facility.
Starting to remind me of the LA riots of LA. Haters gonna hate. Clarifies. I'm on the side of ICE, saying those citizens out there, arrest them and send them back with the illegals, since they want to defend illegals. Thank you for the comment. Murky Piglet says they need to get a grip on real reality. Also, criminals running or crossing into Indiana.
I think it had something
in
to do
some
with
of our dumb cities like South Bend, Indiana, are harboring them.
Baconator,
always nice to see you, Murky Piglet. You always bring good things to the table here. Interesting perspective. This is right on the border of Indiana.
I don't know if they have Blackhawks there.
Kay Koenig says, thank you for admitting publicly that this is Johnson and Pritzker's fault.
It is.
Annette S. says, please put your DNA on the like button. Please put your DNA on the like button. I like that. Please put your DNA on the like button. Awakened One, member for 4 months, says, send in the National Guard. Send in the National Guard.
Then the ICE agents could do their job easier.
Well, I'm sure the clips here will be used, and this incident here could be another justification. So when the Trump administration eventually appeals down the line, the judge is ruling that not allowing the National Guard, they can use incidents like this as justification to bring in the National Guard. People out there in the streets, what are they, waiting for ICE to come back?
Probably figured strategy. How do they stop them? Yeah, they do need to put him back up, John. It's some stupid liberal judge. What the frig? Why shouldn't they be able to put a fence around the ICE
national
facility?
security advisor for the New York Times by the name is Miles Taylor. He spoke to MSNBC and said Trump is inching closer to invoking the Insurrection Act. If there was a moment for America's governors, especially in blue states, to hold an emergency summit, it's now time. This is coming from Miles Taylor, who spoke to MSNBC about Trump is inching closer to invoking the Insurrection Act.
I refresh the page, Mark, and then I see it.
Another report that just came out by Fox News.
A lot of order, too.
DHS is currently fighting off bounties being placed on ICE agents' heads in Chicago amid a massive encouragement of.
Do you hear that? The cartels and that are handing out money for anyone that will kill an ICE agent.
Violence from Democrats, narco-terrorists in Mexico are reportedly working in coordination with domestic extremist groups to place bounties worth thousands of dollars on the heads of federal immigration officers in Chicago.
Are you looking for the most affordable way to add electric heating and cooling to your older home? If that's the case, then
to let rebel chicks.
Maybe that's why they're confronting them.
Or they are on actually
in the neighborhoods. Bounties on the head. Organized, going all the way back to Mexico. Narco-terrorists. This was crazy what we just saw.
I think there was probably at least 100, 150 there, Pat.
All right, let me continue to read on and tell you the latest of what's going on.
Trying to get him from every angle. They're trying
bounties placed on the heads of ICE agents.
Yeah, Menger acted.
All right, NBC Chicago just put out a report on this incident here. I'll see their take of what they're putting out to their citizens in Chicago. NBC Chicago says armed federal agents reported in Chicago neighborhood as crowd gathers. The situation occurred here at 105th Street and Avenue North. Video captured the moment a heavy federal presence was seen at a Chicago intersection with armed agents, many masked or wearing gas masks, met by a large crowd in the city's East Side neighborhood.
Nothing about being somewhat violent.
Happened at 105th Street and Avenue.
Unbelievable.
It was not immediately clear why federal agents were in the area or what sparked the situation, but a car crash was seen taking place moments before. Goes on to say the footage showed what appeared to be smoke of some kind rising from an intersection near the scene, though it was not clear who deployed it. Crowds gathered on doorsteps, sidewalks, and the streets. The Department of Homeland Security, Border Patrol, and U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement did not immediately respond to NBC Chicago's request for comment.
All right, everyone. I'm going to leave it there. I'll catch you all tomorrow. I know Rebel Chicks is on and all that, so I'm going to end it there. I'll catch you. I'll be playing more on this. I got more clips about this stuff. Okay? Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.